Nobody saw this kind of scandal emerging. Today, it's all everyone can talk about. The internet is going crazy as a woman has lately come up with an amazing allegation regarding MENDEECEES Harris. She claims to have been imprisoned, that she had no way out, and now she is speaking her truth to the world. The truly shocking fact is that MENDEECEES has not spoken a word. Nothing, not a rejection, not an explanation. And then silence? It simply serves to fan the flames. Fans are split. Some demand he come out right away, while others think this is merely another attempt to discredit him. And Yandy? Oh, you better believe she also gets engaged in this. She has been quiet on social media. People are already reading into it. Does she know anything we do not? Or is she just waiting for the ideal opportunity to react? This story is getting out of control, and trust me, you're going to want to hear every single detail. So let's break it all down. What precisely is being said? Who is this woman? And most importantly, is there any truth to these astounding claims? The story begins with a modest post, something that, at first glance, didn't seem like much. But as soon as it hit the internet, it was as though a fire had been sparked. This woman, whose name was first kept under wraps, stated that she had been involved in a situation with MENDEECEES Harris that left her feeling absolutely trapped. She described the entire incident as one she never saw coming and something that had tormented her for years. But why now? Why speak out after all this time? These were the questions fans were asking the moment the story broke. In her narrative, she claimed that MENDEECEES had been a charming, influential character when they first met. He was well known for his ties to the entertainment world and his position in love and hip-hop, and that status supposedly made him even more charismatic. At first, everything seemed normal, she remarked. He was polite, kind, nothing about him seemed off. But things took a dark turn when she started to feel like something was wrong. According to her, the more she tried to break away, the more controlling MENDEECEES became. He wouldn't let me leave, she alleged. It was like the walls were closing in, and there was no escape. She said she tried several times to walk away, but each time, MENDEECEES would find a way to reel her back in, manipulating the situation so she felt like she had no choice but to stay. I didn't want to be there, she claimed. I didn't feel safe, but every time I tried to get out, he reminded me of how much control he had. As the woman shared more details, the story became even more chilling. She reported occasions where she felt absolutely powerless, adding that MENDEECEES would corner her emotionally, making her feel like there was no other way than to do what he wanted. It was like he had total control over me, and I couldn't breathe, she claimed, visibly terrified as she recounted the incident. He made me feel like if I didn't listen to him, something terrible would happen. By now, the internet was buzzing with theories and speculation. Fans of MENDEECEES were caught completely off guard. This was not the man they knew from reality TV. MENDEECEES, known for his placid demeanor and family-focused existence on screen, couldn't possibly be capable of such a thing, could he? Many supporters jumped to his rescue, saying that this was just another case of someone trying to knock down a celebrity. This can't be real, one person replied. MENDEECEES would never do something like this. I won't trust it for a second. But there were just as many people who were starting to question what they thought they knew about MENDEECEES. Some pointed out that, while he appeared to be a loving parent and husband on TV, there was always a chance that there was more to him behind the scenes. We only see what they want us to see on TV, one dubious viewer added. Who knows what he's really like when the cameras aren't rolling? As the woman's story continued to gain traction, more people began to dig into MENDEECEES' past. Some started to detect patterns in his behavior that could have been red signals, but they had gone ignored at the time. He's always been smooth, always been able to talk his way out of anything. One reviewer said, maybe this time, his charm won't save him. While the woman had yet to reveal all the details of her encounter with MENDEECEES, the weight of her accusations was enough to make headlines. She said that the night in question was something she would never forget, stating that she had been absolutely blindsided by how rapidly things progressed. It started off so normal, she said, but within minutes, everything changed and I was trapped. Her words painted a picture of fear and helplessness, something that fans had never associated with MENDEECEES before. She characterized the meeting as a moment where she felt absolutely powerless, unable to make any decisions for herself. "I was frozen," she remarked. "I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to get out of that circumstance. It seemed like he had entire control, and I was just there." The accusations were shocking, and as more people began to weigh in, the pressure mounted for MENDEECEES to respond. Fans were demanding answers, and the more he stayed silent, the more people began to question whether or not the charges could be true. His silence was perceived by some as a sign of guilt, while others believed he was only biding his time before clearing his reputation. As the narrative gained traction, it became evident that this wasn't going to be something that just blew over. People were hungry for specifics, and the more they talked about it, the more the tale seemed to spiral out of control. Speculation was rampant, with hypotheses ranging from this being a complete fiction to a deeper, darker secret that MENDEECEES had been harboring for years. The woman, for her part, didn't appear interested in attention. She wasn't after fame or fortune. She only wanted to tell her experience and warn others about the kind of man she alleged MENDEECEES to be. "I'm not doing this for me," she remarked. "I'm doing this because people need to know the truth. They need to know who he really is." But was there more to her story? As others began to take apart her allegations, they started to uncover contradictions. Some wondered if she had ulterior intentions, while others claimed that her story was wholly manufactured from the outset. "There's just something off about her," one spectator said. "I don't know if I believe her." And yet, despite the doubts, the story was already out there. The harm had been done, and now all eyes were on MENDEECEES. What would he say? Would he deny everything and fight back, or would the weight of the charges be too much for him to handle? As the first section of the story came to a close, one thing was clear: this was just the beginning. The woman's assertions had opened a Pandora's box, and no matter what occurred next, MENDEECEES' life would never be the same. As the accusations against MENDEECEES spread like wildfire, social media transformed into a battle zone. People were divided. Some believed the charges instantly, while others thought it was another attempt to knock down a successful black guy. But one thing was clear: the world needed answers, and MENDEECEES' silence. That was only making things worse. Hours passed, then a whole day. Then two, still no statement from him. And in the fast-moving world of social media, silence isn't just suspicious, it's incriminating. The internet was humming with speculation, theories, and heated disputes. Fans sought answers. Some questioned why he wasn't quickly refuting it if the charges were false. Others assumed he was taking his time to prepare the ideal response. But there was one person who wasn't remaining silent at all: the woman who had come forward. In an exclusive interview, she disclosed terrifying details of her alleged experience with MENDEECEES. She stated that everything began out good, that he was pleasant and made her feel comfortable. But suddenly, she said, everything changed. According to her, MENDEECEES grew possessive, domineering, and eventually, things took a terrible turn. She detailed how he reportedly trapped her in a scenario where she felt powerless, unable to go. At first, she was hesitant to speak out. "I knew who he was. I knew what type of power he had," she said with a trembling voice. "But I couldn't keep this to myself anymore. I couldn't let him do this to anyone else." The public was in shock. The way she portrayed it, her dread, the way she felt trapped, it struck a connection with many people. But then, the scenario took another drastic turn. Another woman came forward. This time, someone absolutely unrelated to the first woman, although her narrative was strangely similar. "When I saw her interview, I knew I couldn't stay silent anymore," she stated. "He made me feel the same way, like I had no way out. This changed everything." One claim may be dismissed as a misunderstanding, but two, with the same unsettling details, the internet erupted. The hashtag #WhereIsMendeecees started trending, with people demanding he speak up. Others began digging out old clips, past interviews, and social media posts, looking for any indications that could validate or deny these charges. Finally, after days of stillness, MENDEECEES broke his silence, but his statement startled everyone. Instead of a statement, he shared a strange video on Instagram. No words, no captions. Just him staring into the camera while Drake's Fake Love played in the background. The internet flew into a frenzy. What was he attempting to say? Was he labeling the women liars? Was he mocking the situation? Or was he indicating that even his closest pals had turned against him? The emotions were quick and powerful. "That's not a denial," one person tweeted. "If he was innocent, why wouldn't he just say it?" Others believed this was his way of sending a message that he was being set up. "He's saying everyone around him is fake," one supporter said. "Y'all don't see the bigger picture." Then, in another unexpected twist, Yandy finally spoke out. But her response wasn't what people expected. She didn't post a long statement defending her husband. She didn't go live to clear the air. Instead, she displayed a plain black screen with white text. "There are two sides to every story." That was it. Fans were left astonished. What did she mean? Was she standing by MENDEECEES, or was she subtly distancing herself from him? Was she implying that the claims were bogus, or was she accepting that something had happened, but there was more to the story? No one knew what to think, and that ambiguity merely added fuel to the fire. Then, just when it appeared like the situation couldn't be any more chaotic, a leaked text message changed everything. A screenshot started spreading online, allegedly from one of the accusers. In the message, she was seen messaging a pal, stating, "I told you this was gonna work. Now we just wait for the money to come in." The internet went wild. If this message was authentic, it suggested the entire controversy could have been a setup. MENDEECEES fans quickly went on the attack. This was never about justice, it was about money. One individual tweeted, "They saw an opportunity and took it. He's being played." Others called for the women to be held accountable. If this is fake, they need to be exposed. False charges harm lives, but not everyone was convinced. Some questioned the validity of the SNS message. "How do we even know this is real? It could have been edited," one person commented. "This whole thing feels like a PR move to save his career." And then, in a jaw-dropping moment, one of the accusers spoke out again. "I never sent that text," she stated. She stated that the screenshot was absolutely phony, a desperate attempt by MENDEECEES' team to defame her. "They're trying to destroy my reputation," she stated. "They'll do anything to silence me." The drama had now reached its apex. Was MENDEECEES genuinely being set up, or were these women stating the truth and now being labeled as liars? The internet was divided like never before. But just when everyone believed they had seen it all, another unexpected person came forward. And this time, it wasn't an alleged victim. It was someone from inside MENDEECEES' own circle. Someone who knew him personally, had worked with him for years, and had seen things other people hadn't. And what they had to say would alter EVRYPHL. The internet was already in pandemonium, but when a former associate of MENDEECEES came out, everything hit a whole new level. This wasn't simply some ordinary person seeking attention. This was someone who had been part of MENDEECEES' inner group for years, and the things they had to say. Absolutely shocking. The unidentified source, who claimed to be a former business associate, revealed a bombshell in a tell-all interview. "People don't know the real MENDEECEES," they began. "The public sees a family man, a businessman, a reality star. But behind the scenes, it's a different narrative." The interviewer pressed for details. "What do you mean by that?" The source sighed. "He's controlling. He manipulates situations to always work in his favor. And when things don't go his way, he does whatever it takes to quiet them." That last part immediately caught everyone's attention. Was this person insinuating that MENDEECEES had done something to these women to keep them quiet? The interviewer didn't hold back. "Are you saying that the accusations against him could be true?" The source hesitated. "Look, I can't say for sure what happened between him and those women. But all I can say is that I've seen him cross lines before. I've seen him get aggressive when he doesn't get what he wants. I've seen him use his influence to make things disappear. This revelation was massive. It wasn't just the charges anymore. This was someone from his own background, someone who knew him intimately, heaping gasoline to the flames. Social media burst again. You all still defending him after this? Come on now, one person tweeted. If even his own people are speaking out, you know it's bad, another commented. But MENDEECEES fans weren't backing down. This is just a smear campaign, one admirer argued. They're digging up anyone to speak against him now. While the internet debated, MENDEECEES was still silent. At this moment, people expected him to say something, anything. But all they got was another mysterious post. This time, it was a simple quote. The loudest one in the room is the weakest one in the room. The responses went berserk. What is this even supposed to mean? So he's calling everyone weak for speaking out. That's not a good look. This is hardly the response of an innocent man. Meanwhile, the alleged victims weren't done speaking out. One of the ladies gave another interview, doubling down on her assertions. And this time she had receipts. She dug out earlier communications between her and MENDEECEES, revealing exchanges where he allegedly pressured her, dominated her, and made her feel confined. She scanned through them, showing the timestamps. You see this? This is how it started. He made it appear like he cared, but then he got more and more hostile. She continued. And this is when I finally stood up for myself. Look at how he reacts. She showed a message where she told him she wasn't comfortable anymore. His response? Cold, dismissive, almost threatening. The internet lost it. People studied every single message looking for evidence. Some claimed the screenshots confirmed everything. Others thought they could have been faked. And then things got even worse. One of MENDEECEES' former exes came out of nowhere with a surprising comment. She said that during their relationship, he had also been domineering and abusive. I never spoke on it before because I didn't want the drama, she said in a now viral post. But after hearing these women's stories, I can't keep silent anymore. This was a game changer. The media ran with it. Headlines everywhere. More women speak out against MENDEECEES. MENDEECEES faces backlash as more allegations surface. At this point, even celebrities started reacting. Some separated themselves, unfollowing him on social media. Others came out, saying they believed the women. A few even claimed that MENDEECEES needed to be held accountable. It looked like his career was going out of control. But just when it looked like there was no way out, MENDEECEES finally reacted. And his response altered everything. A frightening live interview, MENDEECEES sat down with a well-known journalist to clear his name. The interview started off tense. The journalist didn't waste time. People want answers. Did you do what these women are accusing you of? MENDEECEES shook his head. Absolutely not. He leaned forward, looking directly into the camera. I want to make one thing clear. I have never done anything like this. These accusations, they're entirely false. But the journalist wasn't letting him off easy. Then why do you think these women are coming forward? Why would they lie? MENDEECEES sighed. I don't know. Maybe it's for attention. Maybe it's for money. Maybe someone's putting them up to it. All I know is that these statements are not true. He continued, and as for that so-called friend who spoke out, that's just someone hunting for clout. Someone who's furious because they're no longer in my circle. The journalist pressed harder. What about the messages? The screenshots? The alleged proof? MENDEECEES shook his head. People can fake anything these days. I don't know where those came from, but they're not real. The internet wasn't buying it. Look at his body language. He's lying. This man just denied everything without any real explanation. Where's the actual proof that these ladies are lying? At the same time, MENDEECEES supporters were rallying behind him. You all really gonna believe random screenshots over a man's actual words? But the damage was done. Even with his denial, the controversy wasn't going away. Then, in the most unexpected twist yet, a secret recording leaked. And this recording was about to turn the entire scenario upside down. The internet was on fire. Everyone was buzzing about the leaked recording, a recording that seemed to capture MENDEECEES in a conversation he never intended the public to hear. The clip was barely over 3 minutes long, but those 3 minutes were explosive. It started with the woman's voice, nervous, unsteady, but resolute. "You know what he did to me," she said, "and now you're acting like it never happened." MENDEECEES' voice came next. Calm but defensive. "I don't know what you're talking about," he said. "You need to stop this before it gets out of hand." The woman didn't back down. "I begged you to stop that night. I told you I wasn't comfortable. You didn't listen." And then, after a long pause, MENDEECEES said something that sent shockwaves across social media. "You were acting like you wanted it. Now you're twisting the story." Boom! The internet erupted. Did he just a them mind it? Bro just buried himself. He should have stayed silent. This is ridiculous. There's no getting back from this. But just when people thought things couldn't get any crazier, another woman dropped a bombshell. She came out with a second recording. And this one was even terrible. This time, MENDEECEES was allegedly heard offering money to make the matter go away. "I'll take care of you," his voice said. "I'll make sure you're straight. Just quit talking about this." The woman in the clip sounded disgusted. "So you think you can pay me off? You think this is only about money?" Again, there was silence. Then MENDEECEES' voice came back, this time colder. "I'm trying to help you. But if you want to play this game, just know, I got lawyers, I got connections. You truly want to go against me." That was it. This was no longer just a scandal. This was something considerably bigger. The industry turned against him. Fast. Brands that had worked with him, gone. Business deals, dropped. Reality TV connections, cut off. Even his own acquaintances in the entertainment sector started distancing themselves. But the true shock came when Yandy, his wife, eventually spoke up. She went live on Instagram, appearing fatigued, hurt, and absolutely depleted. "I don't know what to say," she said. "I've been with this man for years. I've defended him. I've stood by him. But these recordings, these accusations, I can't ignore them." She took a deep breath. "I need time to figure things out. But for now, I'm stepping away." Stepping away. The internet lost it. Yandy leaving him? Yo, even Yandy knows it's over for him. She was ride or die for this man. If she's out, you know it's awful. And then, out of nowhere, MENDEECEES disappeared. No new posts, no statements, nothing. Silence. People started speculating. Was he hiding? Was he meeting with lawyers? Was he preparing a comeback? Nobody knew. But then, another twist. A new case was launched against MENDEECEES. The first lady who accused him, she wasn't done. She was taking him to court. And then, in a crazy turn of events, a third lady stepped forward. This woman said she had receipts. She provided screenshots of DMs, supposedly from MENDEECEES. In the messages, he was begging her to remove things. "I'll do whatever it takes to fix this," one message said. "Just please don't go public with it." Fans were stunned. At this point, even MENDEECEES' greatest fans were backing away. "Bro, there's too much evidence now. There's no way all these women are lying. This is our Kelly all over again." And then, the final bomb me. A video surfaced. It was security footage from a hotel lobby. In the clip, MENDEECEES was seen arguing with a woman. She appeared genuinely upset. At one point, she tried to walk away. MENDEECEES grabbed her wrist. The internet exploded. Is this real? This dude is done. I don't see him coming back from this. And just like that, his kingdom was falling. Reality TV, over. Business ventures, ruined. Reputation, destroyed. And the worst part? He had no one left to defend him. Even celebrities started speaking up. People who had once labeled him a friend were now saying they never really knew him. And then, the final nail in the coffin. MENDEECEES finally broke his silence. He posted a long message on Instagram. It read, "This has been the hardest time of my life. I have never hurt anyone, and I will strive to clear my name. The truth will come out." But no one believed him. The comments were brutal. "Too late for that, bro. Not you pulling the innocent card now. If you were innocent, you wouldn't stay this silent for so long. So what happens next? Will MENDEECEES fight back? Will the lawsuits destroy him? Will Yandy officially leave him? One thing's for sure, this narrative is far from over. And as always, we'll be right here bringing you every update as it happens. So make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on the latest drama. And let us know in the comments, do you think MENDEECEES is guilty? Or is this all simply one giant setup? And that's where things are right now, a controversy so explosive that it has left fans, the industry, and even MENDEECEES' closest pals profoundly shaken. But the biggest question remains, what happens next? Will MENDEECEES ultimately break his silence and defend himself? Will more women come out with even more horrifying allegations? And what about Yandy? Would she officially walk away, or will she stick by his side? There are so many unresolved questions, and trust us, this narrative is far from over. If you've been following this drama as closely as we have, then make sure you're locked in for every update. Hit that like button if you think the truth needs to come out. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any breaking developments. Turn on notifications because, at this point, anything might happen next. And we want to hear from you. What do you think? Is MENDEECEES hiding something, or is he being wrongly accused? Do you believe the lady's coming forward, or do you think there's another side to this story? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and let's talk about it. This is Gossip Vibe, giving you the newest, the most startling, and the most talked about stories in entertainment. Stay tuned, because trust us, this is just the beginning.